Hey guys, it's Stell from Hot and Moving. Man, do we live in a weird sports time frame or whatever we call this, sports matrix? You know, where influence of boxing takes on a whole another level, man. You know, and you know, I'm sure y'all heard of it already by now. You know, Jake Paul is going to be finalizing a deal to fight Anthony Joshua. Now, when I talked about this at first, when this first was being floated around before the Gervonta Davis fight, is it Al Heyman is his promoter, I believe, or manager, whoever it is for Anthony Joshua, forgot the guy, whatever. You know, he was like, nah, we're not going to do that. All this talk about money and I said at the time that was a negotiation tactic. It was. Okay, like a certain amount of money talks, he gonna lace some gloves up and fight. Okay. And man, this is a backup plan, and honestly, I don't even think it was an actual plan in the first place for Jake Paul to fight Gervonta Davis. I think that the more I think about it, I think that whole thing was to generate buzz for this fight to actually happen. Okay, the fact that Gervonta was going to do it, or at least allegedly looked like he was going to do it. It was really probably for him to fight Anthony Joshua, right? I mean, I really don't trust these things nowadays, honestly, because it's like, first of all, how was Gervonta even going to be in the ring with Jake Paul size-wise? And the weight, like, it just, the math made no sense on that. Logically, it didn't make any sense. Whatever. This was the fight this was the real fight. That Jake Paul initially wanted to have. Okay. And we're having it. And look, man, at least you know, there's some weight in there now. Okay, obviously Joshua's 6'6", massive. Okay, you know, Jake Paul is pushing almost 200, so at least, you know, Jake Paul has somebody in his realm to fight, and it'd be interesting. Now, Anthony Joshua opened up as a massive favorite in this fight, obviously, as you can see here. Jake Paul is a plus 550, and I think Josh is a minus 1,000, bro. I mean, yeah, easy work for Anthony Joshua, easy money. You know, look, we saw what happened when he fought Francis Ngannou, made light work of him. Okay, because Francis Ngannou was not a boxer, obviously, but you know, it kind of got people thinking after he had a nice go around with Tyson Fury. But for Jake Paul, absolutely not. But for Jake Paul, though, this is a fight that, you know what, if you actually can make this compelling, you don't get knocked out, okay, then, you know, you're taking boxing seriously. I don't know. We've been saying that for the last 3 years, almost 3 years right now, and it's just like, you know what, man, whatever for Jake Paul. I don't even want to keep bringing it up anymore. Him as a boxer, he is technically a boxer, but he's more of the entertaining boxing guy, you know, the showman boxer, to get the spectacle boxing fight. Now, this fight, I will be intrigued to see. I want to see how quickly Anthony Joshua is going to knock him out or float him, honestly. You know, I know Anthony Joshua is somewhat washed, you know, and look, big payday for him. Okay. I mean, the only way Jake Paul may have a chance in even just kind of being upright in this fight is the fact that this is a quick turnaround. Quote, quick turnaround, in quotes. Like, was this really a quick turnaround? Or was Anthony Joshua kind of preparing all along for this day to happen, knowing that Tank Davis fight was not going to happen, right? But yeah, I mean, Jake Paul, I mean, look, Francis Ngannou turned it down, and I get Francis Ngannou point on, you know, his ethics and whatnot, but damn, talk about a payday, man. Talk about missing on a payday. I mean, I don't know how much of a fighting career Francis Ngannou is trying to have. If it's trying to be in boxing, when's his next fight? I don't know. Anthony Joshua, I think he's done in the heavyweights. All right, this could be his last real bag, if not his last real bag opportunity. Same thing can be said for Francis Ngannou, unless he wants to fight Tyson Fury again. But if Francis Ngannou feels he has enough money in his career, then he doesn't have to take on this fight. And, you know, Anthony Joshua didn't blink twice. All right, this is probably always going to be the fight because of just all the money talk from his manager or his promoter, whatever it was, right? But, you know, Jake Paul, is there, Jake Paul's a money making machine. So it was really, all that talk was about nothing, because if Jake Paul wants that fight to happen, it's gonna happen. Okay, I don't really think he really won that fight with Gervonta Davis. I don't believe that fight for a second. I don't. It was a good entertainment ploy to get people talking and everything about it, but it's like something was going to happen for that fight not to happen. Whether it was going to be Gervonta Davis getting himself jammed up in that lawsuit or the civil suit, okay, or some other thing is going to happen where they're going to cancel the fight. Gervonta's mistake, going to get hurt during camp, during train. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like that was never going to happen, but this was always in the works behind the scenes. So, but we got it. Netflix, Netflix is a big winner in this, because they have a fight still to happen in December. Okay, the other fight is supposed to happen in a couple of days, but it got canceled with Gervonta Davis. Netflix is a big machine. They have a great partnership with Jake Paul. So this was I feel like Netflix was not going to just not have a fight. Jake Paul was going to have an opponent. Believe that. Netflix was not going to miss out on a planned event with Tank, quote, whatever, but this was the event, I believe, all along. So anyways, man, that's just my conspiracy on this, man. Y'all know what y'all think about this with Jake Paul gearing up to fight Anthony Joshua, man. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.